podcast with our host, Alan Porter. Alan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Neil, it's a beautiful day out here in North Carolina, blue sky, probably going to be about 7 degrees today. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. It's cold in Ohio. That's all I have to say. See, there you go. That's why you live in North Carolina. Our topic today is the great wealth transfer, how high net worth families are preparing or falling behind. We keep hearing about the great wealth transfer. What does that actually mean, and why is it so important right now?
Well, Neil, it concerns the massive shift of wealth, roughly $84 trillion. This is expected to pass from baby boomers to their children and grandchildren over the next 2 decades. And for wealthy families and business owners, this is the largest financial transaction in U.S. history. But the problem, Neil, is many are unprepared, which means that much of that wealth is going to be lost to taxes, poor planning, or family conflict. You've got to have a plan, like I've always said.
Right. You don't want them to, as you talked about Joe Robbie and Prince the Entertainer, that ultimately that those were complete fiascos.
Yeah. And so for the baby boomers, everybody knows Joe Robbie stayed in the Miami Dolphins, worth about $400 million at one time. Because of his lack of planning, his family got next to nothing. And to tell you the truth, the attorneys on that got anywhere from 6 to 12% of that estate for legal fees.
What are the biggest mistakes families make when it comes to passing on their wealth?
Well, they're top 3 mistakes, but the top 3 mistakes, it's just like this in life itself. Number 1 is procrastination. You're always putting stuff off. Number 2 is a poor tax strategy. You know, Neil, I've got specialists on my team. What I mean by specialists, I may be your family doctor. I can treat you for minor illnesses, minor injuries. But if you want your knee operated on, you want the orthopedic surgeon, who is a specialist in the field. That's what I have in my team: tax-specific attorneys, CPAs, and other specialists in my team. And we collaborate to find solutions for people's financial problems. And most people, they don't have any specialists. They basically have a general practitioner, and they're not conducive or read up on the latest changes in the tax codes.
You know, it's so true, Alan. And let's talk.
Get back with that. But without tax planning and liquidity strategies in place, heirs often face large estate taxes and must sell assets in order to pay them. And the ultra wealthy avoid this by putting proactive, tax-efficient plans in place before the transfer happens. It's all part of planning.
And you have that team, and you have the dream team, Alan. That's the big thing. The people that you introduced me to in the tax world and the planning world are unreal. And what you do strategically, and that's why it's Strategic Wealth Strategies, is strategically come up with a plan for everyone and bring the right people in place to make it happen.
Well, that's for sure. I've done a lot of people. Just like my latest client with a tax strategy, my tax people have, of course, they know exactly what they're doing. We've saved him, actually not saved him, but we're getting back over $2.2 million he's paid in taxes over the last 4 years.
It's absolutely huge. How do tools like cash value life insurance and annuities help protect and transfer wealth efficiently?
Well, first off, they've got to be properly billed. I mean, cash value life insurance, I'm talking about fixed indexed life insurance and also whole life insurance, but they have to be properly structured. Now, I've got millionaire clients that have tens of millions of dollars in assets, and they don't need the life insurance. I have a friend that has billionaire clients, and they have hundreds of millions of dollars in cash value life insurance. Like I said, they don't need this, but they need a wealth transfer vehicle, and cash value life insurance is the greatest wealth transfer vehicle available today. The death benefit, for which you pay pennies on the dollar, is tax-free. So you can pay the taxes on your estate when you pass away, so your family can maintain your assets and avoid probate. It will equalize inheritance among heirs, because you may have a business or something and you want to sell it, but tax-free money, if you want 50% here, 50% there, that's what's going to happen. Annuities, on the other hand, fixed and fixed index annuities provide guaranteed income for surviving spouses or their heir. ensuring the wealth you've built contributes to your work for your family. Together, they protect, preserve, and grow wealth. And, it's all the way across generations, Neil.
And Alan, you think about this, and I want to follow up with this, with the question is basically the situation is when you sell a business, you have the right professionals in place to then take that money and not lose it in taxes from selling that business, so that you're giving it to your heirs the right amount of money and not giving them everything, right? If they're selling their business, so that they have they can start planning out their future as well.
Exactly. For business owners, there's special challenges. But business transaction can be tricky. Without a structured plan, successors may inherit ownership, but not the liquidity or the skills to manage the business. Life insurance can fund buy-sell agreements or provide tax-free cash for business continuation, while annuities, again, can guarantee income for retiree owners. Now, planning ahead ensures the business survives and the family harmony stays intact. But there's so many things out there, Neil, that people don't understand. Like when you pass away, is your wife going to be able to run the business? When you pass away, is your daughter going to be marrying somebody that you can't stand to begin with, and then a year later they get divorced, and they didn't have a prenup agreement, and half of everything that she got is going to the son-in-law that you couldn't stand? You've got to have a plan.
And what do you recommend sitting down for a type of plan like that? What time of life? As soon as possible, right? It doesn't
Absolutely
matter where you're at.
As soon as possible to do anything that has to do with, like I said here in this podcast, and I've always said, you've got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, make one, but the earlier the better. And it's not just for wealth transfer, it's for your retirement, it's for marriage, it's for college, it's for your job. You've got to have a plan and a goal to get there.
All right. What role does tax planning play in successful wealth transfer?
Well, Neil, it's everything. Without smart tax planning, your heirs will lose 30 to 40% of their inheritance to federal and state taxes. The wealthy use strategies like irrevocable life insurance trusts, which are called ILITs, and charitable remainder trusts called CRTs, and cash value policies to legally reduce that burden. The goal isn't to pass the money on, it's to pass it on efficiently and intact. A lot of people have a lot of assets, but there's a big difference in the way you hold these assets.
No doubt. We're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill a little bit next on the next podcast, Alan, and you're going to be able to talk about how there are some opportunities right now to contact you, because this is the perfect time to do the wealth transfer. Right, Alan? It is a big time where you'll never have this opportunity again, I believe, on the end of wealth transfer. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
For families who haven't started planning yet, what's the first step they should take with Strategic Wealth Strategies?
Well, the first step is clarity and education. You can go to my website and use my retirement tax calculator. It will show you potential tax exposure. Then schedule a no-cost wealth transfer consultation with me. And once everything is brought out and my confidential questionnaire is filled out, so I can see some things, because I'm looking at a doctor. I'm going to ask a question after question, and I expect answers to these, because if I come up with some financial scenario for you with these questions not answered, it will be malpractice on my part. But what I'll do is schedule a no-cost wealth transfer consultation. We'll create a plan to protect your estate, reduces taxes, and ensure your legacy is secure for generations to come.
All right. And you can contact Alan for a free consultation. He does not charge for his consultations at 910-555-551-1046, or go to strategicwealthstrategies.com, or email him at strategicwealth0 at gmail.com. Appreciate it, Alan. All right. That was the Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast, guys.